Have you ever stopped to think about what someone with unlimited money actually spends it on? One man spent $20 million just to silence his neighbors. Not to buy a house, but to buy up the surrounding houses just to shut them up for good. And in this world, that's not even a big deal. These football stars blow money on cars and watches. But the real game begins when they sit down to build their own personal sanctuary. And one of them didn't even go down the path of buying a house at all. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't stop this time at some luxury mansion in the city or a hillside villa. He changed his entire address altogether. On a secluded island off the western coast of Saudi Arabia, wrapped in privacy, he's bought not one but two villas. The place is so secure that there's no direct way to get there. It's either a chartered boat or a seaplane. The whole island has 19 villas in total, each one sitting on white sand, surrounded by crystal clear blue water. One for his family, and another for spending time completely alone, in total silence. Just imagine, where an ordinary person can't even escape one annoying neighbor, Ronaldo has gone and bought himself a slice of pure silence out in the middle of the ocean. Speaking of silence, Lionel Messi's story is even stranger. His main house in Barcelona costs around $9 million. But the real surprise isn't the house itself. It's what surrounds it. According to reports, annoyed by the noise in surrounding houses, Messi poured over $20 million into buying up his neighbors' homes, just so he could have peace and quiet. In other words, he spent more than double the price of his own home just to keep things silent. And inside is nothing to scoff at either. An entire floor dedicated just to a gym, walls covered with pictures of the legendary Muhammad Ali, a full-size basketball court right inside the house, and outside, his own personal football field for whenever he feels like training alone. Where Messi's house is built to keep the world out, Neymar Jr.'s house seems built to do exactly the opposite, to invite the whole world in. In an upscale neighborhood of Rio de Janeiro, this roughly $10 million house is less of a house and more of a resort. 6 bedrooms, an underground wine cellar holding 3,000 bottles, a swimming pool straight out of a 5-star hotel. But the real showstopper is the backyard. Where our backyards hold a small patch of garden, Neymar's backyard holds an $8 million yacht, and a full helicopter can land right there. The house is so cinematic that scenes from the Hollywood action film The Expendables were actually filmed there. Everything we've seen so far has been pure, dazzling glamour. But the names coming up next are a completely different breed. Houses that give you no clue at all that one of the planet's most terrifying strikers lives inside. That terrifying striker's name is Erling Haaland. On the field, he's the man who scores goal after goal and robs the opposition of their sleep. So you'd think his house must surely be some gold-plated palace. It's exactly the opposite. Haaland's entire house is built around just one thing: performance. A gym right at home, a recovery zone, an almost daily routine of ice-cold water plunges to refresh the body, treated with the same discipline as training itself. And the real surprise is in his kitchen. This striker, one of the most expensive on the planet, cooks his own food with his own hands. To make sure the meat is completely pure, he sources it himself. Raw milk, fresh meat, even local honey. Just imagine. For a man with hundreds of millions to his name, his biggest luxury is picking out the freshest ingredients from the market with his own 2 hands. Now here's someone who never lacked money either, but he didn't chase a palace. He chased a view. Kylian Mbappé bought a $7 million apartment in the heart of Paris. That might not sound like a huge deal, but the real value isn't in the price. It's in the window. The view he wakes up to every morning is one that millions of people around the world line up and buy tickets just to catch a single glimpse of, straight out of his bedroom window. The Eiffel Tower. The inside is like a 5-star hotel. In the very city where he grew up dreaming of playing football, he's now bought a home right in the middle of it. So this isn't just a house. It's the address of a boy's childhood dream. Mbappé has packed his entire dream into one small piece of land. Riyad Mahrez walked a completely different path. His house in Saudi Arabia isn't even fully built yet, but it's already a massive undertaking. About 8 bedrooms, huge open spaces, and its own private elevator inside the house. But here's the funniest part. When Mars takes possession of the house, there's nothing inside at all. No kitchen, no furniture, just an empty shell. Every single thing in this brand new, gleaming house has to be built up from scratch. While most people move into a house that's already put together, Mars has bought empty space equivalent to a small hotel, and he's slowly turning it into a home, piece by piece. As massive as Mars' empty palace is, the next house on the list is just as quiet. Walk right past it from the outside, and you wouldn't even notice it. And yet, hidden inside is a world nobody would ever imagine. The owner of that quiet house is Harry Kane, standing behind a security gate in an upscale London neighborhood. There's no way to tell from the outside what's hidden within. It's worth around $13 million, spread across 4 floors, roughly 16,700 square feet. Kane may have kept the glamour hidden, but Sadio Mané doesn't even bother with glamour in the first place. The world knows him for his simple lifestyle, and for the hospital and school he built in his own village. His house is the same way, built not to show off, but to work. The most essential room in this house isn't upstairs. It's all the way down in the basement. That's where they built a facility for his personal use. A recovery lab, gym, ice bath, sauna, hot water pool. Right after a match, he heads straight home and recovers his body there. And upstairs, right next to the home cinema, there's a separate prayer room. Faith is a major part of his life. There's nothing flashy about the whole house. Everything is simply built to be ready for the next match. Everyone else on this list earned their money over years and years. But the last name is just an 18-year-old kid, Lamine Yamal. Because he's so young, a lot of people assume there's not much he could even buy. But what he did first, before anything else, is enough to stop you in your tracks. At just 16 years old, with the very first money he ever earned, he bought a house, not for himself, but for his mother, then for his father, then for his grandmother. His own place came last of all, and even that was no small thing. A $14 million villa that once belonged to footballer Gerard Piqué and singer Shakira before their breakup. 2 houses joined together. 6 bedrooms, 2 pools, his own football field, and a recording studio Shakira left behind. With this one kid story, the whole list suddenly takes on a different meaning. Because after all these palaces, all this billion-dollar glamour, only one question remains. What did they actually buy with all that money? The answer turns out to be far simpler than we think. Behind all these walls, behind all this billion-dollar luxury, every single one of them was searching for the same thing. A little space off the field to just be themselves. For some, that peace is the silence of the ocean. For others, it's a familiar city skyline drifting past a bedroom window. And for Yamal, it's being able to put a roof over his parents' heads before he'd even become someone himself. In the end, these billion-dollar mansions aren't just brick and stone. They're mirrors, reflecting exactly what each person truly wants deep down inside.